everyone. My name is Robyn Freye. I am the Chief Growth Officer of Stagwell, and we are here live from South by Southwest. Today, I am so pleased to be talking to Mike McGoohan, who is the CMO of Central Garden and Pet. Mike, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about your role and a little bit about the organization?
Great. Well, thanks for having me. Central Garden and Pet, we are the number 2 player in pet supplies, and we are the number 2 player in lawn and garden. So we represent a number of your favorite household brands across the pet and the garden spaces. I have been here for about 3 years, and prior to that, I had a career at Mondelez, working on many of your favorite snacking brands, as well as a company called Performance Health, where we built a brand called BioFreeze.
Yes, and you do have a lot of brands in your portfolio. And one of the things that we were talking about earlier was that today's current consumer market is so fragmented. What approach do you feel like works best in that brand and environment?
Yeah, I think the reality is that 20 years ago to today, your brain is now consuming 20 times more messages than it was before. One of the challenges today is how do you break through in all that clutter? Because your brain really can't absorb all that information. And so I think what's really important is that you get back to authenticity and ultimately context. How do I get to the relevance of what I'm talking about with a consumer, and why does that brand matter to them? And so we spend a lot of time thinking about how we can build content that matters to them and ultimately is highly engaging.
Yep, hitting the right person with the right message at the right time.
Yes.
And going back to having a couple different brands in your portfolio, some have larger budgets than others.
Correct.
So how do you maximize a limited budget?
Yeah, I believe it all comes down to the right strategy. One of the things that my team and I talk a lot about is the idea of going slow to go fast.
Yeah.
And so if we invest a lot early to really get to know our consumer, to understand what matters to them, to understand what role our brand or our product plays in their lives, and then orient an entire strategy around that, that allows us to make a lot of decisions downstream really efficiently and effectively. And so we know clearly what's inbounds and what's out of bounds. We also know that we got to sort of put our eggs sort of in probably fewer baskets, and we want to make sure that those are the ones that return the best in terms of growing our reach and awareness. And ultimately, we believe that those top of the funnel metrics are most important to then be able to pull people through for sales.
Several of us were watching you on the Brand Innovator stage today, and you were talking about, the future of D2C,
Yes.
which some people agreed with and others did not. Can you tell us your thoughts on D2C?
Yeah, undoubtedly, the ability to connect with consumers directly is the future of marketing and of brands. I think one of the challenges is that over the course of the last few years, we flung too far to the bottom of the brand funnel. I do believe in the model of you build brands for the long run, and so I think you're seeing a little bit of a swing back here, where brands need to focus more on building upper funnel awareness, building things of distinction, and ultimately driving more people into your funnel.
If you had one piece of advice to give for marketers as they're sprinting towards through 2023, hard times, what would it be?
Something that I often tell people is that your career is made or broken often on the risks that you're willing to take. And so at some point, you need to lean in, and I believe everybody's career is made about their strengths. And so how well can you leverage and lean into your strengths in something that if you look deep inside yourself, you say, I do that better than other people do. And how you lean into those strengths that ultimately allow you to take the appropriate amount of risk, because all of the successes I've had in my career have been probably taking a slightly bolder strategy, looking at a problem differently than other people, and then having the confidence to say that I think that we're right or wrong.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We know your time is very valuable. Such wonderful insights, and I just wish you the best South by.